And we're live.
Yay, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello.
Gail
Oh,
and I were just talking about being cranky.
yes.
All
Oh, my
this
goodness.
energy going on and feeling a little cranky.
Yep. It's been crazy. I've been very grumpy.
And my sleeping pattern is like shifted again,
Ugh,
which makes me crankier.
yes. Yeah, it's been, I don't know. We were just chit-chatting about just I have been feeling like so, and I'd be curious to hear how everybody else is doing, because I know Jen was just saying, there's a big trine happening. There's a lot of astrology going on, right? Impactual astrology right now, but it just the energy everywhere. Oh my goodness. And I was talking about my divine masculine being a bit toxic lately
Yeah.
and just needing to keep a lid on my mouth, and it's been rough. It's been a challenge lately, energetically. It just, boy, I'm cranky and
Been a
frustrated, just
little too passive
crinkly, and
aggressive.
yeah, yeah, been a little tough going. How about everybody else out there?
There's a grand trine. If it's not going on already, it's getting ready to happen in November in water signs. And I think that always brings out a lot of emotions, and
Right?
it's
Yes,
impacting
definitely.
it's impacting my masculine planet Aries,
Yeah,
Mars.
you're Jen. Woo,
Mars.
that's gonna be hot stuff.
It's sitting right on my Mars. It's like, oh man, gonna bring out some toxic masculinity before it's over.
Yeah.
I'm
Hello,
try- I'm
Mike.
trying to
Hello,
chill.
Sherry. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Beth Cat. Good morning.
Morning, Mike.
Yay. How's
We
everybody's Halloween? How did everybody do for Halloween and just the
It rained here. And I didn't participate in trick or treat this year.
no,
The candy was just so outrageously
it was
expensive. I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it.
yeah, it went
And
up.
then it
They
rained,
said
and that kind of
between
kept all the trick or treaters away anyway.
yeah. No, they said candy went up like between 20 and 500% depending on the candy. I was like, wait, what?
Barbara's saying an extra hour last night, but not more sleep. And I'm like, yeah, that an extra hour of broody, moody.
Yes,
I've just been kind of staying home. It's like nobody needs me right now.
to be subjected to me.
I'm not going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put myself on the public.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was telling Jen, I even checked in with the doctor, like I am popping out of my skin. Like you need to run some blood work or do some nonsense because I cannot shut my mouth and I'm gonna get in trouble. So I'm gonna try just to stay home and stay out of people's hair. I'm not sleeping well, no, either. Me either. Yeah, they're saying in the chat, everybody's up and down. Even last night, yeah, I was up and down, up and down.
I fell asleep like early, and then I woke up at midnight, and I was up till like 3, 4 in the morning, and then I went back to sleep, and I'm like, "Ugh, that is not good sleep."
No, yeah.
Even my cats, when they pile up on me, I'm like, get off! I need some space."
Oh my gosh, Cindy won 3 costume competitions as Lizzie Borden.
Ooh.
Well done, well done. I love that.
But did she do it?
Would you like to speak in on that, Cindy? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm trying to think of the most clever costumes I saw. Some were really sweet. I work in a school, so there was a lot of, um, one of the not actual costumes, but we all have door competitions, so everybody decorates. And we have something at my work called the board. And when any staff is out, it goes on the board. Well, and I work in a place that with it's for children with severe autism, so it's a very intense environment. And any given day, we may be down like 30% of our staff. And so one person, you put the scariest thing they could think of, and they put the board up there on their door. Because you get to work and it's like, well, we got nobody. Okay, let's go. That's crazy. Yeah, waking up every few hours, me too, for sure.
Her parents were awful, allegedly.
Allegedly.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
That's right. Lizzie Borden. Oh, hello, Paisley. Nice to see you.
It feels like it's been forever since we skipped October. It's like, wow, it's been 2 months since I've seen Gail on face to face.
Yes.
We text, but we don't get to see each other till we do Sacred Sounds.
Yep. Yes. Awesome. I'm just looking through the chats.
Yeah.
It's fun to see everybody.
Back in August, we talked about the divine feminine, and we decided then we wanted to come back and talk about the divine masculine because, it's my belief we carry both masculine and feminine energy in us, in all of us. And Johnny was going to join us, but then he had to work. So
we miss you, Johnny.
We miss you, Johnny, if you're listening. But it's, I think both, the masculine and feminine work hand in hand if we can balance them. And one of the things that I got hung up on in thinking about this, because it started hitting me, I make notes, and Gail probably does too, before we do Sacred Sounds. It started hitting me in September, and I had to get out my notepad and start writing things down. But talking about, the feminine is like our potential a lot of times, and the masculine is bringing it out into the physical. So the term manifesting, right.
The actual actions.
Bringing it out into our physical world. It's interesting because I think when we do that, we have to have a little protection, some healthy boundaries. But to me, the masculine energy is using our logic, it's using our focus, it's using our discipline, our conscious action, like, not reacting, but conscious action.
Yes. I think conscious being the word that we need to really focus on when we look at masculine, so it doesn't get very distorted or toxic, or that consciousness of those actions and the intellect and how that portrays itself in the world, those
not reacting, which is what I've been doing, I feel like, for the last 10 days. It's like, what is all this energy? And having taking the time to build support and structure for that, and being objective, taking feedback and being objective and tweaking and making order out of chaos sometimes, right? Learning to discern between what is sense and what is nonsense. If that makes sense. Like, okay, this is just noise. Hang on.
Right. Definitely. Yes.
But I pulled out my tarot cards, because to me, this is the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the high priestess and the hermit. The feminine is intuition, creativity, our subconscious mind to the conscious mind. Like, she takes wisdom within and then to her subconscious and then brings it out to the conscious mind. Inspiration, wisdom, compassion, nurturing, and receiving. And then, in its hyper sense, it can be passivity versus dominance when it's not balanced, right? It's like this can be very passive and this can be dominant. But the masculine energy, is all that clarity of thought, that that logic, that focus, that discipline, moving something into action, bringing it out. But it doesn't mean like abusing our power, right?
Right.
That would be toxic masculinity, abusing power. It doesn't run from power either. It's a strong power, right? But it does no harm. It doesn't take bull, but it does no harm. And holding space for both the masculine and feminine to bring it into balance. And then you have the emperor and the empress, right? The emperor is that discipline, but he can be dominance, right? He can be abuse of power, but learning to be strong and firm without abusing your power, and the feminine nurturing energy and the inspiration to bring new ideas to light and stuff. It's a little bit of a fine line, learning to balance those.
100%. I would say offer it's a lifetime journey to keep them in balance and make them be the best they can be. I mean, I think one of the examples I saw was, the divine feminine is the river floating down into the sea, and the divine masculine is the riverbed and the river shape that holds that water and allows it to get to the ocean. Like those two things in balance, they both have a very sacred and important purpose, but they're very different, But I think I loved, somebody said, I think it was it went away, but somebody said Johnny is doing the sacred masculine today because he's working. His sacred masculine is working today, earning the income. And I was saying to Jen, when I have to call and get my car fixed or do my finances, like I'm invoking my sacred masculine, my masculine energy that fixes things and does the intellectual things, and
Well, the feminine is also allowing receiving information, receiving wisdom, receiving help from others, all those kinds of things. And the masculine gets out there and does things. Right. So we have to be careful if we're doing things for everybody else all the time, right? And we're never receiving. We get unbalanced. And then, like the Jackson Browne song says, you're running on empty, right? You have to have something filling you up from within to have the energy to go out and do things. There are times like we have to help others, right? You have someone sick in your household and you have to help them, right? But we can still find time to nurture the inside a little bit and balance a little bit of that masculine, feminine.
Definitely. I found a quote from Thomas Merton, and he said, a big part of that masculine intellect is contemplation, and that contemplation is the highest form of action because it aligns the soul before any outward deed is acted upon. So,
wow. Say that again. Say that again, Gail. That was powerful.
Yes, contemplation is the highest form of action because it aligns the soul before any outward deed is acted upon. What if we had a little more of that?
Yeah.
All of us. I mean, it's just, that intellect doesn't control, it functions to protect us. It doesn't dominate, it serves us.
And we sometimes need that survival, right? It's our survival instinct sometimes.
Yes.
Survival of the fittest, very masculine
statement. Yes. Hi, Desiree.
It's, we have all these overlapping energies, between the masculine and the feminine, and we have to learn to harmonize the outer with the inner and the inner with the outer. That's bringing into balance the masculine and the feminine.
Yes. And I think we've got into, it's a constant, I don't know if I'd say battle, but it's constant work that has to be done because, in our current structures, we've got very distorted power systems, that kind of patriarchal dominance, exploiting nature, exploiting, just kind of this exploiting people, just this power over kind of structure. And, I think the collective is just looking for a new way, and I think, that's why we're being faced with all this extreme right now of absolute worst of those things is what we're facing, because those structures are dissolving. And, we need to go back into that place of wisdom before you act, that place of calm intellect, that stillness that's compassionate and protective and for the service of others. Those are all masculine, divinely masculine traits that we've gotten very away from. And, I think,
just so much of the, as we call it, the toxic masculinity, masculinity out there. And to your point, it's dissolving. So it is like right in our face right now a little bit.
We're the phoenix in the flame before it becomes the phoenix again.
the natural, the masculine toxic reaction is, let me go out there and hit somebody, right?
Right.
It's like, I want to punch somebody in the face and stuff. But, the more spiritual masculine sees it, has the clarity to see what's happening, and take a breath, hold it for 10 seconds before you speak. It will come out in a much more healing way.
I remember, what I always liked about everything I always read about Abraham Lincoln. And I know he used to have some very fiery debates and thought that was a very fun thing to do. But his nature was very contemplative and very slow. And I remember, I think it was Oliver Stone maybe that did the movie Lincoln. Maybe I might be wrong about that if anybody knows. But they were getting ready to basically start the Civil War, and he, and there was had been a lot of things going on, and there was a message to be delivered, and Lincoln was sitting with the guy over the Morse code little communication thing, and the kid's hand is shaking, and he's waiting for him to say what's going to happen next, how many people are going to die, what we're going to do. And he told this long story about his childhood, and the kid's sitting there like over the thing like, sir. But it was just, that's who he was, this reflective, nothing is jumped into, nothing is not considered. It's, whatever action you take, it's a weight on your soul, because people were going to die, lots of people, and just, we jump now. We just jump at everything. There's that slow wisdom, that stillness, that mountain solid, that's at the mountain, it's solid, and, stable structure is just escaping.
It's hard sometimes too, the masculine is that logic, and sometimes our intuition is going a different way, right? It's like, okay, is this logic coming down to me because this is what my parents told me, or my school teachers told me, or a coworker told me? Wait a minute, does that logic resonate with me still? Or is there a shift happening in my logic?
Right.
Well, A plus B causes C, right? It's that kind of thing where you have to kind of weigh it out. It's like, maybe A plus B is D,
Right. Ernie's mom said that was Steven Spielberg. Thank you for that.
That was a great movie.
Yes, it was. But it was also like his nature. You really had to sit and watch. And some people were like, oh my God, that movie was too long. There a lot of stillness.
When your buttons are getting pushed on your masculine energy, when it can try your patience. And it's like, come on. We got to move into action.
Right.
What are we going to do? You have to think things through, but there's a balance. Like, when you do move into action, don't be afraid to fail, because you might, a lot of times, like, inventors and things, they fail 100 times before they get something right. Yeah. That masculine energy keeps us trying, keeps us out there and trying and perfecting. And learning from our mistakes. If to me, there's no such thing as a mistake as long as we're learning from it, right?
Right.
But learning from where we failed or where we fell short and evolving it and then trying again and trying again.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, our current world, our current culture is not super conducive to that. Everybody wants perfection. They want it now. They want it yesterday. They want it, it's everything is, even the kids, when they go to school, they've got, 50 extracurriculars. They've got 6 hours of homework. They've got, it's everybody's just running.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to stay in tune with your true divine masculine and feminine. Our culture just doesn't support that. So it's, you got to make the choice to do the work.
I think you can't be afraid of failure. You have to be afraid of not trying.
Yes.
Like that actually kind of drives me crazy when I see somebody sitting and not moving into action. It's like you have to do something. Like if somebody's looking for a job or needs a job, are they looking? Are they actively looking? We can't, just expect everything to just fall in our lap when we're manifesting it. You got to open up and look at some websites and see who's hiring, right?
Yes. Ooh, I see the dragonflies are coming. I have a beautiful carnelian today. And I also have, which is a really rich energy, and tiger's eye, and it's a dragon, which is a lot of busy, energetic masculine. So I pulled those.
The tiger's eye is very grounding, and
Yes.
the fire energy, Aries. Yeah, Velvet Dragonflies by Billy Chapata. I know y'all seen it 100 times on here because I keep reading from it, but it's like little short verses, little short sayings, and there's something for every subject in it. This one's called Timely. Nothing forced into existence ever lasts. All the glue and temporary effort put into making it stick will always peel off eventually. Allow the things meant for you to come freely to you, with no friction or opposition, with no rush or restlessness, with just patience.
That's beautiful. I love that. And that is true. Like that steady presence is very much the divine masculine.
It's funny. When I was younger and I was trying to manifest things, I used to, I have 4 planets in Aries, so patience was not my strong suit, especially when I was younger. I'm better at it as I've gotten older. But I asked my guides and angels to help me with patience. And then all of a sudden, I started getting all these things pushed at me that tried my patience. Like it was just like, oh, whoa, be careful what you ask for when you're manifesting, when you're putting it out there in the universe, all these lessons to try to teach me patience. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done with these. Thank you. I understand patience, that I have to breathe through these, but I don't need a whole bunch of lessons dumped on me at one time to teach me patience.
How much lessons did you want, Jen?
I will learn at my own pace. Thank you very much. Take that off. Beth Cat in the chat always says it's like a menu. You have to be specific when ordering. Do you want it on the side or you want it on top? Hey, Beth Cat.
Ooh, I love that paisley. A black obsidian palm stone and a peach moonstone flame. That's nice. That's perfect for this energy. And a secret of the Sphinx candle. Ooh, nice. That's beautiful. Yeah, that very solid energy, because everything's just going boom, 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 like flying in a million different directions and
it's making us reactive,
Yes.
and being reactive without thinking about it. It's coming from a lot of times a fear place, right? So if you just pause, it's like, oh, they're trying to make me afraid of this. Hang on.
Right.
If we can calm down, we can be reactive or react in a positive way as opposed to reacting to someone else's energy that's being thrown at us.
Right, right. And I think, that thing of you have to respond so fast and you have to just, doesn't matter what it is, you just need to spew it out and show
Yeah.
how fast you can open your mouth when you're not even thinking about what you're saying. We get into a lot of that too.
Learning to say no. It's like,
Yeah,
no, or defining no. No, I can't do it in that timeline, but I can do it, by
right.
this date or whatever.
Yes, definitely.
We're,
Yes,
we're a cooperative society. Our energies, intermingle and work together or not. And, we have to learn that balance of no may not be no always. No may just be no for right now. We have to learn
right.
to negotiate our way through those energies.
Definitely. And be able to be flexible and you know look at things from a different angle. I mean, one of the structure is so important, but that can also include flexibility and looking at things from a different view and kind of expanding. And it doesn't always mean a tiny little box that everything has to be always locked in the same way. We have to, I think, a huge piece of it is listening, and
Hmm.
listen, not just judging and not attacking and not, just listen and use
Speak.
that wisdom, that deep Abraham Lincoln wisdom,
That's right.
listen to what you're
When you feel
taking.
stuck, just take a few minutes to do active listening. You know, I can't tell you how many times like a friend or acquaintance, will say something and I'm like, ooh, there's an angel message here. Hang on. Like I really take it in and it slows me down so that I am not as rash.
Right. Yes. Oh, Barbara, I love that. She said, I love how my community is coming together to feed people, which is awesome. I actually, because SNAP just stopped,
Yeah.
and I actually had some coworkers that were concerned, and some of them, like, not everybody makes a lot of money everywhere. Even my coworkers were concerned about losing their benefits
When
and
people
worried
working
about
for the
family
government
members.
that
And
aren't getting full pay, a lot of them are having to
yeah,
take out
absolutely.
bank loans and stuff, and if they
Yeah,
can get them to cover mortgages and things.
absolutely. Yes. And, I think, part of my response was coming up with like a list of resources and different things and touching base with our HR to see if we could put out some sort of information resources to employees, where to go for food, where to go for assistance. If you're having specific troubles, we have different resources that are hooked up to different parts of our benefits package or insurance or whatever. So, but that's divine masculine, that structure, that planning, that action, that's all that energy.
Organizing it, yeah, the
Yes,
discipline to be organized, because
yes,
that's not a forte of mine. Organization, it's like, you know I'm real good at coming up with ideas and trying to bring them into reality, but I don't always like to take the time for all the petty details to organize it. Yes,
right, right,
I
right.
have to really slow myself down to make sure I organize things well and
Yes, that's funny.
think it
Cookie's
through.
about to go totally masculine on the fly. That's bugging her.
I've been
That is
feeling like that, Cookie. I've been having a problem with little fruit fly natties, little
gnats.
flies.
Yes, yes, yes. Because we've had a lot of moisture. Yeah, I noticed that too the last week or so. Oh,
Every little thing helps.
it absolutely
If you don't
does.
have money to donate, if you have time, you can donate. That's important too.
Yes, that's awesome because they really, really need the food right now. I know here in Illinois, Cook County, which is Chicago County,
And
the county that Chicago's in, so it covers a lot of people. Um, they donated several million to the food banks directly, like in food, to be purchased as food for, because there's going to be such an influx. We have probably 2 million people that lost their benefits
yeah,
yesterday.
Pritzker, we both live in Illinois, and Pritzker's been trying to be proactive at the beginning of the shutdown. Okay, they're gonna, SNAP's gonna go away. He was trying to be quite proactive to get things set up. The other thing too is if you're struggling, if you're struggling financially and keeping food on your table, do not be embarrassed. Do not be afraid to go and get help. That's what it's there for.
Yep.
Whenever I was laid off, unemployment was there to help me stay on my feet, right? So there is no shame in accepting help. That's what it's there for.
That's right. And it's hard. Like, I am one that's really struggles accepting help. I remember years ago, I had a job, and it was and it was just a kind of a crap job, but it was a very abusive situation. And I was living with a roommate, we split the rent and whatever. And he was like, you need to quit today. Like, do not worry. This fridge is yours. Whatever's in here, whatever is in this house, it'll be fine. I had such a hard time. I didn't want to eat anything. I didn't want to take anything that wasn't like, it was really hard for me to ask for help, but that's exactly what I needed to do. And I had another job within a week or so, but it was like, it's hard, and it's embarrassing, and it's horrible. And, but that's what we're all here for. That's every person in this chat. I know it the people that'll help, and the people that need something, it's all the same. Those two things.
Most people, when they get back on their feet, will then turn around and try to help others, Yep. So when I would get a job again and back to work, I would try, to be helpful to others that needed it, and be generous, with charities and things. So, there's a time for every season, right?
Yes.
And sometimes that season is, I need some help to take care of me.
Yes. I always remember that. And I know
Mike, that's a great idea. Let me put that up there. For anybody rewatching this later, instead of doing Christmas presents this year, maybe do a donation in people's names to spread that help.
I've been thinking about that. Like, things are at such a level. I thought, I don't feel like Christmas shopping. I don't feel like going out and buying a bunch of crap. I don't, I'm kind of over the materialism stuff, and it would be nice just to do that instead. Something like that, kind of take us down a notch to what
most of our friends and family don't need anything anyway, so it's like, if you can help someone else in their name, that's powerful.
It is very powerful. Very wonderful. Yeah. Yes, life is what happens when you're trying to live. That's right. Don't be embarrassed. Absolutely. 300%. Yes.
I think, with the exception of powerful money people, most people don't understand the day-to-day struggle in life just to keep a roof over your head and food on the table and medical bills. And
yes.
As they say, we're all like one health scare risk away from filing bankruptcy, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yep. So Delaware's governor is continuing to fund SNAP. I know Michigan is doing the same thing. Like, that's the divine masculine in action too. Taking this stuff and being like, okay, this is a disaster. What are we going to do, and how are we going to do it? That's divine masculine. That's
powerful. I always tell people I'm helping that it's a hand up, not a hand out. Pay it forward when you can. It allows them to receive with grace.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Nice. Yep. That's beautiful. Yes. Small business owners. Yeah. That's a struggle too. Definitely.
I got a little static going on.
You do? I hear you okay, or from me?
Do you hear static?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it stopped. Not sure what that was. Maybe a little spirit energy.
That's awesome. No, it's true. There's so much positive work we can do that, has that kind of, oh, you hear the static, Beth? Do you still?
might have just been a little spirit activity.
Yes, thank
You know,
goodness for those governors.
this
Definitely.
is a time that strengthens our communities, and if we're two go together, it's much stronger than one on their own.
Yes,
So don't be afraid to reach out if you need help, and don't be afraid to reach out and help someone or offer assistance.
definitely. Very definitely.
Um,
Okay, the
I was
static stopped.
Yeah. I was telling Gail before we started, I got back into reading the Gnostic Lost Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which is one of my favorite Lost Gospel texts. She was very into metaphysics. She definitely came to teach more spiritually from a little more metaphysical angle. And I think she came her book teaches us more about balancing the masculine and the feminine, because all the other books of the Bible are written by men, right, and are predominantly about men. And she came in teaching that balancing of the masculine and feminine. But she also teaches recognizing what is hidden within all of us all along, and that frees you to unveil the truth, so to speak, so that you can be your authentic self, to pull the veil away and bring that out into our physical reality. So what's in here can be brought out here and manifested.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot because my sinuses are draining this morning. I was a little froggy, but in drinking a toffee coffee is not helping.
Nice. I love that. No, but that is so true. And she was, when you think about, she was one of the only women in that whole community, and just the incredible work that she did, and stayed focused on the actual, how to kind of thing.
I think I'm drawn to her because I do have so much Aries energy. So I do have a lot of masculine energy,
Yes,
a lot of fire energy. Four planets, guys, in Aries. 4. It's a quad Aries, and my Mars squares my Sun. So Mars in Cancer, I feel like it moves me into being a fighter for women, feminist fighter. And I think that's a little bit of what Mary Magdalene was doing,
yes,
not making us invisible, right? Not making the feminine invisible. To me, the toxic masculinity that we're seeing is trying to make women invisible.
yes.
But we're also seeing the opposite. We're seeing a lot of strong men who elevate and lift that feminine energy, and tune into their own feminine energy within.
Yes. And how do we, within ourselves, and then sharing with others, how do we stay in presence, instead of that control, slipping into that control piece? How do we stay in a place of protection, protecting others, protecting the planet, kids, animals, ourselves, other people, kind of standing, you think about all the they have these groups that will show up when ice goes flying into a neighborhood. A huge group of people will just surround the situation and just be present. I see you. I know what you're doing. We know who you took, that kind of, I'm not saying, fight with anybody, throw anything at it. I'm saying being
you
present.
don't have to shoot guns at them or anything, or
Right. You
be
need
violent,
to be
but
present.
you can
Be
push,
present.
like we are not, we see what you're doing.
We
Cindy Lou's got a great suggestion here too. Delivering food to people who are at risk because of ice right now is a great idea. Delivering
Yes.
groceries and things because they're afraid to leave their homes right now.
Yes,
That's
so many
super
people.
idea.
And
Because
we have
it's not just in Chicago, they're out in the burbs now too. They're out
Yes.
in our little towns all over
We have
northern.
several staff that we follow home to make sure they get home. They're terrified to come to work, terrified to, a lot of people have canceled medical treatments, they're saying, online, like people are afraid to, a lot of cancellations because people are just afraid to leave their houses. And, I have a few friends that, carry their passport with them at all times. They make their children do it. They, they were born here, but if you're brown, we're in trouble right now.
They haven't been in my little bitty town, A, because it's so little, but they've been in a village, 10 miles down the road from me.
Yeah.
So it's scary times right now.
It is very scary. So I think, yep, presence, protection, action that arises from wisdom and contemplation, that type of action.
That's right.
Is our best self, our best divine masculine that we could be right now.
Persistence, discipline without the violence.
Yes. Yep. We seem to be getting better at that.
Yeah.
But it's always a day to day. Like I said, I was like bouncing off the walls lately. So, everything that comes out of your mouth is a choice.
I don't know. With an Aries, sometimes it's out of my mouth before I can stop it. It's like,
You are a true Aries, Jenna.
I know it's a choice, but it's like, Aries trait is do first, think about it later. It's hard to catch those words when they're running out of my mouth.
It's funny.
I had a boss in a job I had in 2010 that used to tell the CEO of the company, "Don't ask Jen her opinion unless you're ready to hear it."
Yes.
So he would kind of like pause me.
Which is important as well.
Yeah, because the CEO would come by my office. It was a small company. He'd come by my office all the time and ask me questions. And my boss happened to be standing there. He goes, "Don't ask her her opinion unless you're ready to hear it, because she's going to give it." And you may not be there yet mentally, right? So I learned I have to lay a foundation if I'm trying to get them to think about something differently. I had to pace myself a little bit to get them to evolve to thinking about things differently. And I kind of see a relevance to that today in what we're going through right now politically. And
absolutely. And I had a circumstance at work where we had an administrator just completely blow up at a team of people, including myself. It was bizarre. It was unwarranted. And he was like snarly mean. And, I thought, okay, and you have to let yourself sit. When I get something like that or experience something like that, I make myself take 24 hours before anything comes out of my mouth. And that's such an important trait. And it's something I've always struggled with, because I gotta, what is, there's a Miley Cyrus line, fire in my lungs and the devil on my tongue.
Yeah,
which I have been guilty of. So, but this is a very delicate situation. It involves a team of people. It is important how we go forward. It's important how it's handled. It's important how people are communicated to, respected. It's important to continue to lay the foundation of what we were working on. So there's so many pieces, and you just have to give it that wisdom, that grace, that time to okay, let's settle down and let this settle and figure out how we're going to go forward.
As well as setting, an excellent role model for the next generation. Like I grew up in a household that was all rage and, toxic masculinity. And, I had to learn on my own how to find positive role models in the masculine and to recognize the masculine energy within me. Yes. But we see, there was a group recently of young people that were just toxic, racist, all kinds of that kind of crap. We have to show by example. We have to keep communicating, keep trying, I think, to set an example for our youth that will lead in the future.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes. So true strength serves, true leadership listens. I like that too. Oh, I have another little poem for us.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is John O'Donohue, and this is a blessing. It's from a book he has called Bless This Space. And this is a blessing for equilibrium, which is really kind of a lot of what we're talking about. Like the joy of the sea coming home to the shore, may the relief of laughter rinse through your soul. As the wind loves to call things to dance, may your gravity be lightened by grace. Like the dignity of moonlight restoring the earth, may your thoughts incline with reverence and respect. As water takes whatever shape it is in, so free may you be about who you become. As silence smiles on the other side of what's said, may your sense of irony bring perspective. As time remains free of all that it frames, may your mind stay clear of all it names. May your prayer of listening deepen enough to hear in the depths the laugh of God.
I think as we go into our meditation, I think it's important to remember we create our reality. So when people are trying to put fear on you um,
And anger and all their projection and
right, that
some,
we can create what surrounds us.
yes,
Even in a toxic world, we can create who we identify with, who we connect with, who we use and support each other, in learning to create our own reality to get us through difficult times. So
yes,
as we go into the season of Thanksgiving,
yes,
special thanks to those friends that do that with us, that we
yes,
journey together and build a better world.
yes. And this community, it's wonderful, all of us together, definitely. Yes. So I'm going to be starting with the lower earth base, the lower tones, the security, the root chakra,
I was
all
gonna
the,
say that root chakra, baby, give it to me.
I'm doing it. Okay.
But also, that second and third chakra that kind of balances that interaction with the world.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, for those who aren't aware, Sacred Sounds of Coffee, we always have different subjects we talk on. Next month we'll be on Gail's channel. We talk on different subjects every month, and it's first Sundays at 10 a.m. We always end with a little meditation, and Gail does a sound bath for healing. Um, and the meditation, I invoke certain archangels. If you have other preferences or your guides or anyone else you want to invoke those. But feel free if you want to light a candle with me. I use little tea lights because these only burn for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I put them in little tea light holders. I let them burn completely down when I'm doing a manifesting candle. So I don't use pillar candles or votives or jar candles. I like to let the tea lights burn all the way down. You can get them pretty cheap at Michael's. It's a great place to pick them up. So, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel. And I'll ask for Mary Magdalene's energy to join us in balancing this masculine and feminine. We surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. Thank you for allowing me the wisdom to nurture my desires and the wisdom to know when I'm ready to manifest those into the physical. Thank you for helping me with healthy boundaries. Thank you for helping me differentiate between sense and nonsense and to bring order out of chaos. Thank you for allowing me to hold space for myself. Thank you for unveiling my truth, my authentic self. Thank you for harmonizing my inner and outer universes, for balancing my feminine, masculine energies. Thank you for helping me understand discipline and clarity. I acknowledge and embrace both my feminine and masculine energies and wisdom. I am not afraid of failing. I am not afraid of going within. I am not afraid of bringing out into my physical reality. My footsteps do not have to be those of yesterday, nor does my reality. It can be fresh today. Thank you, Gail. I often forget a lot of times there are a lot of people who don't know how to meditate or how to um, listen to a sound bath. And I should probably start our little meditations with what I like to do. One of the first things I do is I breathe in through my nose deeply, hold the breath for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly. My exhale is much longer than my inhale. Hey, Rosie. And I like to imagine I have ears all over my body, up and down my arms and my torso and my legs. And I take the sound of the sound bath through those ears all over my body, and I will feel it strum up and down my chakras. Right, Miss Rosie?
Yep, she loves a good sound bath. She just stays right there.
It's like, I'm all clean and pure now.
Yeah. She has to come sit on me.
Yeah. I find when you're tense, like you do a deep breath and hold it for a few seconds and then exhale, you can literally feel your shoulders go down. Like
Yes.
you can go back and watch in videos. You can see like my shoulders when they relax down when I'm doing a deep breath, right?
Uh-oh, a squirrel.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, now we're going into action. She's getting her masculine energy on.
She's not doing her divine masculine properly. She's gonna get the squirrel.
She's reactive with squirrels.
She's insane with the squirrels. I can't even. And I keep trying to explain they're just trying to get themselves together for winter. Let them be. They're very busy people. It's not your business. But we see how that goes. Rosie, honey cakes, come here. Leave the squirrel. What does mother tell you? Come on. Hey.
Well, on that note, thank you all for joining us. Just waking you up after the meditation. Make sure you're grounded good.
Thank you guys for being here today. What a wonderful, wonderful community. And yeah, what a great time to have everybody here.
Thank you also to everyone that I kept posting comments because y'all were giving us some real positive things to share with others. So thank you for your comments today.
Yes.
And we will see you first Sunday in December on Gail's channel. If you have not subscribed to her channel, Spark Soul Therapy, as you see on her name up above. Thank you all and have a wonderful, wonderful November. Oh, powerful new moon or a full moon this week, the biggest of the year.
Yeah.
Full moon. So thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.